one of the things that I'm a data guy, and I like what ExamSoft gives me in terms of item analysis, but also exam taker behavior. I can get a previously unviewed look at what an exam taker is thinking as they're taking a test. If they changed their choice. If they, I had B, now it's A. If they, how long they took on a question. Which I think is really helpful to a teacher when we tell them, you need to write a test, an exam for an hour and a half, and every student in the class took an hour and a half. Was that test too hard? Or maybe they only took 15 minutes. Was that test too easy? I like the fact that a student could say, oh yeah, I tried, I worked so hard, but the log will show that you worked for 10 minutes, you just chose random answers and then sat there idly for another hour and 15 minutes, which is, we couldn't do that with a Scantron, and the data that I get back from that, I can then go into class the next day and say, okay, here's what I want to talk about. And I can also ask the question, what were you thinking when you took this question? I don't mean that in a bad way, but what were you thinking when you were answering this question? Because you all took, let's say, 2 minutes and 45 seconds on average to answer this question. When I looked at it, I think you should have answered it in 15 seconds. So what were you thinking as a student? And let's think about, well, did you know the content? Was the question phrased wrong? And as a teacher, I think that feedback is really critical because maybe I phrased the question wrong. Maybe I didn't phrase it the right way. Maybe I didn't teach something. Where with a Scantron test, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that. I would see a pencil mark on a piece of paper, and that's it. I wouldn't see anything into the mind of the exam taker, which I think that's some really untapped, useful information.